Dear students, see last time we talked about rotational motion with a constant angular acceleration. Okay, now today we have to study motion of a rigid body about fixed axis. Okay, in that we have to calculate work done by torque. Now see, in our linear motion, see, work done was force into displacement. See here, in a rotational motion, see, the work done will be equal to T into d theta. Now see, we have to see how this equation is come. Now let us say the cross section of a rigid body which moves in xy plane. Now we know in a rigid body all the particle maintain its fixed position. All the particle maintain its position. Now we consider one such particle which has a position vector from the axis of rotation. Okay, so let particle at P1. Now see the radius of the circular path. Okay, now let us say on this particle, see, there are a number of forces, but let us say let force acting on particle at P1 be F1. Okay, now see, consider a displacement. Okay, now let us say due to this force, see, the displacement is ds1. Okay, let us say let displacement force F1 ds1. Okay, now let us say, see, the angle between, see, the force and the displacement, that is ds1. Phi 1. Okay, now we have to calculate torque, work done during this. Let work done during this dW1. Now see, what is the simple formula for the work done? Work done is force into displacement. So dW1 F1 into ds1. But okay, we work formula force is F dot ds. Okay, so what is the angle between F and ds is phi. So we can write is F1 ds1 cos phi. Now what is ds1? Okay, see, that is, we can say pp dash, length of the arc, that is equal to r into theta. Okay, now we know, see, this phi 1 plus alpha 1 is 90 degree. So what will be phi 1? Okay, 90 minus alpha 1 is 90 minus phi 1. Okay, and see, if I write cos 90 minus theta, it is a sin theta. So in that case, we can write in terms of alpha. See, we can write dW1. Okay, there is a work done due to particle is equal to F1 R1 d theta into sin alpha 1. Okay, F1 R1 d sin theta alpha 1. Now this is a work done on one such particle. Okay, this is a work done due to all such particles. See here, see, force, this cos alpha 1 component, okay, will be in the direction of position vector, so the work done due to will be 0. Okay, so this Fr sin alpha, okay, is nothing but torque. See, because torque is equal to R cross F. and RF sine alpha. So this work done dW1 will be T1 into d theta 1. Okay, T1 into d theta 1. Now we can have number of forces. So this is work done is torque into angular displacement. That is, we can say. Similarly, total work done. Let us say force be F1, F2, Fn. Okay, so the total torque we can obtain, and if we can obtain the total torque, see the total work done also we can obtain. So in that case, total work done W will be tau 1 plus tau 2. This is a generalized formula. Okay, this will be the generalized formula. Torque we know is a vector quantity. Okay, so in that case, see let T1 plus T2 is torque, a resultant torque, then W is equal to torque into d theta. Okay, so this is how we can obtain, see, the equation of a work done due to torque. Okay, now see, this can be asked in a 2-mark question. Now see, next we have to prove that torque is equal to I alpha. Now see, in linear motion we had equation F is equal to ma. Okay, corresponding equation in the rotational motion will be I into alpha. Now we know the physical quantity which is analogous to force is a torque, and see here we have linear acceleration. See, the corresponding will be angular acceleration, and see, as we have discussed earlier, see, the moment of inertia corresponds to mass in the linear motion. Now see, next we have to derive the equation of the power, and from that we can obtain the equation torque is equal to I alpha. See, power is rate of doing work. Okay, power is dW upon dt. Now W is a power here. Now see, work done here we consider in terms of the rotational kinetic energy. Now what is the formula of it? Is 1 by 2 I omega square. Okay, so here power we can write is rate of change of rotational kinetic energy. Now see, if I take derivative 1 by 2 I, again we have to take the change, help of the chain rule. See, omega square derivative will be 2 omega, but see here there is no t in the equation, so in that case we have to take derivative with respect to of omega with respect to time. Now see, this 2 will be cancelled, it will be I omega d omega by dt. Okay, now see, d omega by dt is alpha, that is angular acceleration. Okay, now just as dv by dt we have velocity, see here d omega by dt is the angular acceleration. So power equation we can write as I omega, and this is alpha. Okay, I omega and alpha. Now also power is torque into angular velocity. See, just we had mechanical power, force into velocity. See, what is the quantity corresponding to force here? Torque. And what is the corresponding quantity which is correspond to linear velocity? Is the angular velocity. So power we can write in this way also, in this terms also. Now see, what we can see, both equation represents power only. So if I compare, torque into omega is I omega alpha. Okay, now what we can easily see is omega is cancelled, so torque is equal to I alpha. Okay, now this can be asked in a 2-mark question. We can write like this, that prove that torque is equal to I alpha. So what we have done here, see, we know the equation. See, the rate of change of work is power. Okay, rate of change of work is nothing but energy. See here, when we talk of the rotational motion, see, we have to talk rotational kinetic energy. Now we have seen earlier equation, rotational kinetic is 1 by 2 I omega square. So power is d by dt, that is of, see, this we can write as work in terms of work only. So now derivative of this 1 by 2 I is constant, omega square is omega square derivative is 2 omega, and see by using the chain rule. Why? Because here we are taking derivative with respect to time, but there is no term with respect to time, so in that case we have to go for derivative of omega also. See, this d omega by dt is alpha, so the equation of power has become I omega alpha. Also see the equation that we have accepted, power is torque into angular velocity. So if I compare, see we get the equation torque is equal to I alpha. So this is a very important equation. As I told, see we have got F is equal to ma in the linear motion. See the corresponding equation, see torque is equal to I alpha. So that is the equation in a rotational motion. Okay, now this is very important question. Now next we have to study about the rolling motion. Okay, or rigid body rolling without sliding. A rigid body. Okay, now this is an important question. See, the question can be asked in terms of the theory, and from that we derive number of equation that will help you to solve MCQ. Okay, now here when we talk of the motion of a rigid body, we assume that we consider the motion of a center of mass of a rigid body. Now see, for a rigid body rolling without sliding, let us say h is the height of the slope. Okay, h is the height of the slope. D is the length. Theta is the inclination. Okay, now we assume that the rigid body rotates about its center of mass. See, at the bottom of the slope, okay, at the total energy, okay, total energy, that is K is equal to, see the translational plus, okay, now see what is the equation of the translational kinetic energy. See, here we write in terms of the motion of the center of mass of a body, so that's why we write 1 by 2 I m. Okay, and we know the rotational kinetic energy is 1 by 2 I omega square. Now see what is our equation. Okay, now see the relation between moment of inertia. Okay, moment of inertia I is equal to mk square. Okay, that is known to us. Okay, now and see V is equal to R omega. Okay, so we can write VCM is equal to RCM, R into omega. Okay, why? Because we want to represent the equation in terms of velocity of center of mass. So, and see here it is omega square. Okay, so what is omega is VCM by R. Okay, so and omega square is VCM square upon R square. Okay, V is equal to R omega equation we are having. I is equal to mk square. Okay, and omega square will be VCM upon R square. Now here we assume the rigid body rotates about its center of mass. See, h is the height of the slope. Let us say d is the length of the slope. Theta is the inclination. At the bottom of the slope, see the total energy is translational kinetic energy plus rotational kinetic energy. That is 1 by 2 m VCM square plus 1 by 2 I omega square. Now see, earlier we have seen the relation I is equal to mk square, where k is the radius of gyration, VCM is R omega, omega will be VCM by R. See, here we want omega square, so we can write like this. Now if I substitute this value, I is equal to mk square. Okay, so see 1 by 2 m VCM square we can take common. See what is left, 1 plus k square by R square. Okay, See, the total kinetic energy is 1 by 2 m vc square. Okay, now see what happened. See, h is the height of the slope. Okay, when the body rolls down at the bottom of the slope, see, there will be loss of potential energy. Okay, that will be loss of the potential energy. So okay, that will be equal to mgh. So this total kinetic energy will be obtained at the expense or in terms, see, when it loses potential energy, this much energy is converted in the kinetic energy. So we can write like this, mgh we can write is 1 by 2 m vcm square. Okay, 1 plus k square by r square. Okay, now m is cancelled. See, 2gh is vcm 1 plus k square by r square. Okay, so see, this vcm is 2gh 1 plus k square by r square. Okay, now see the velocity at the bottom of the slope. Okay, vcm under root 2gh upon 1 plus k square by r square. Now this is a generalized formula. Okay, this is a generalized formula for the velocity of the rigid body. Okay, or here we have obtained in terms of the velocity of center of mass is under root 2gh upon 1 plus k square r. This is about the velocity of the body. Okay, now see, for different object, we know the radius of gyration is different. Okay, and k is also different. So we can obtain, by using this formula, we can obtain the velocity of the different objects. Now that we see one by one. Now see, first, for a ring, okay, now see, I is equal to mr square, I is equal to mk square. So mk square is mr square. Okay, so see, this k square is equal to r square. So we can say k square upon r square will be 1. Okay, so if I substitute here 2gh, see, 1 plus k square by r square we have obtained as 1. So for a ring, velocity of the center of mass at the bottom of the slope is root gh. Okay, now see, for solid cylinder, next we have to see for the solid cylinder. Now see, you can see in all such case, see, we have to remember the value of the moment of inertia for different object. Okay, so that we have to keep in mind. See, solid cylinder, I is equal to mr square by 2. Again, I is equal to mk square. Okay, so if I compare, mk square is mr square by 2. So k square by r square is 1 by 2. Okay, now if I substitute in this equation, vcm, okay, so now we have substitute the value directly. Okay, 2 ones are 2, this will move to the numerator. See, 4gh by 2. Okay, so for a solid cylinder, we can obtain the value of vcm is under root 4gh by 2. Now next we can derive the velocity of the center of mass at the bottom of the slope. Okay, we have okay, now see, for solid cylinder directly we can take k square is equal to 2r square by 5. Okay, now how do we obtain this? I is equal to mk square, I is equal to 2 by 5 mr square. See, that is for the solid cylinder. So we can obtain k square is mk square is 2 by 5 Okay, now if I substitute here VCM, okay, so this will move to the numerator, VCM at the bottom, 5 2s are 10, GH by 7. Okay, so this is how we can obtain the velocity of the solid cylinder, or we can say the velocity of the center of mass of a solid cylinder at the bottom of the slope is under root 10 GH. Okay, so this is for the rigid body rolling without sliding. Now see, just now we talked about velocity of center of mass, okay, of a rigid body rolling without sliding. Now see, in the lesson number 5 we studied about law of conservation of linear momentum. Now see, here we have to study law of conservation of angular momentum. Now we start with a statement. This can be asked in a 2-mark question. See, the question can be like this: write and explain law of conservation of angular momentum. Now see, first we should enlist the statement. Okay, if resultant external torque acting on a rigid body is 0, total angular momentum remain constant. Okay, see, if the resultant external torque acting on a rigid body is 0, its total angular momentum remain constant. Now see, what is our relation? We proved dl by dt is torque. Okay, that is the time rate of change of angular momentum is. Here we write for a generalized formula, so we write capital L. Now see, T tau is a resultant external torque. Now if torque is 0, dl by dt is 0, then L is equal to constant. Okay, now see, one more relation. See, is L is equal to I omega. Okay, what is L? Is the angular momentum, I is the moment of inertia, omega is the angular velocity. Now see, there are number of consequences of law of conservation of angular momentum. See, in lesson number 8 we will study Kepler's second law. Okay, lesson number 8 we will study Kepler's second law. See, in that we will study about the aerial velocity. See, the aerial velocity remain constant is also a consequence of law of conservation of angular momentum. Okay, see, that theory part actually should be in this lesson only, but will prove there also. See, the another example in our day-to-day life, okay, of law of conservation of angular momentum. See, all of us have seen the scatters. Okay, now see, when they unfold their hand like this, see, their angular velocity decreases, and when they fold their hand like this, their angular speed increases. Why? Because this is again a classical case of law of conservation of angular momentum. See what happened. Let us say, see, this is axis of rotation. Okay, this is axis of rotation. See, when they unfold their hand like this, see, the R increases, or I is equal to mr square increases. Okay, why? Because we assume no torque act on it. Now see, L is equal to I omega. Okay, see, when I increases, omega will decrease, so their angular speed will decrease. And when, see, they fold their hands like this, okay, see, this R will decrease, So I will decrease and omega will increase. Okay. So this is also example of a law of conservation of angular momentum. Okay. So and more regarding the Kepler's second law. Okay, that is also a consequence of law of conservation of angular momentum that we'll study in the lesson number 8. Now this is about the law of conservation of angular momentum. Okay, now in the first lesson you studied about various laws. Okay, so that was see the law of conservation of angular momentum was one of such laws. Okay, so this is about the law of conservation of angular momentum. See, if the resultant torque acting on a rigid body is 0, then its angular momentum remains constant. Now see, one more thing we have to study in this lesson is the principle of levers. Okay, principle of, see, all of us have seen the seesaw, okay, in which you and you are small used to play. Okay, so what happened there? Now it is a simple machine. Okay, here seesaw is a simple machine. You studied about first type of lever, second type of lever, third type of lever. Okay, that was one of the simple machine. Now see here, see lever is like this. See the fulcrum. See what happens, the two forces F1 and F2. Okay, now see, suppose I place two objects like this. Okay, so this will force F1 and F2. Let us say, see the first arm, one is called the force arm and second is called the effort arm. Okay, let us say D1 and D2. Okay, are the distance from the fulcrum. This is a fulcrum. Now see, F1 and F2 are, let us say, two objects placed here. So the downward force will be F1 and see the reaction is R. Okay. Now suppose I consider first the translational equilibrium. So we can write R minus, see upward, see this is origin, upward force we consider positive and downward force we consider negative. So this reaction R is made up of two parts. Okay. R is equal to F1 plus F2. Now see, many times you will read in the books like this. Okay, that is taking moment. Okay, what is the meaning of this? See, it is calculating torque. Taking moment, when you see in a textbook, we have to see that what we are doing. See, we are calculating torque with reference to some point. Now here, okay, see this is a fulcrum about which we are calculating torque. So we can write like this, taking moment about. Okay, so what we understand, see, we consider that we are calculating torque about fulcrum F. Okay, now you can give any other point O. In that sense, we do not get confused with the force F1 and F2 here. Now see what we consider. See, this is a fulcrum, this will try to move in a anti-clockwise direction and this will try to move in the clockwise direction. See, it will be like this. The fulcrum, okay, it will be clockwise, anti-clockwise, sorry. And this is a fulcrum, this force F2 will try to move in the clockwise. So one of the, by convention, okay, by convention, anti-clockwise torque we consider positive. And in the opposite direction we have to consider negative. So here if I calculate torque about point O, see this will be F1, torque is force into distance, that is force into perpendicular distance is F1 D1. Okay, that we have considered positive. And see this F2 will try to move this fulcrum in this direction. See that torque I consider negative, that is F2 D2. See this is a rotational equilibrium. Okay. Now see what about the reaction of this R about O? Why? Because it passes the line of action of this force is about O, so that torque is 0. So in that case the resultant torque. Why? Because we talk of the rotational equilibrium. So in that case the total torque is 0. So then F1 D1 is F2 D2. Okay. Now we can write F1 upon F2. See, it is d2 by. See, in the language of simple machine, this F1 upon F2 is called MA, or it is called mechanical advantage. Now see, what is mechanical advantage? See, we have studied earlier. What is the aim of the simple machine? See, by applying less effort, okay, by applying less effort, we can carry more load, okay, or we can carry more force. We can say load in the sense weight is mg, that it is called load in the language of physics. So here this F1 upon F2 is called the mechanical advantage of simple machine, or that is also principle of equation. So this F1 upon F2 is d1 upon d2, and see the linear equilibration. See what we have considered. See the r minus F1 minus F2 is equal to 0. See, these are the two equations which will help to solve the question related to simple machine, okay, or a principle of levers. Okay, now so right now we have got that much theory only, but in the numerical part, see, we'll discuss it more. So this is about principle of lever. Okay, in that case, in that we consider rotational equilibrium of the body under the action of given forces. So see, most of the theory part is of this lesson number 7 is over. See, next time we'll take the remaining examples, and then we'll move to the exercise numericals. So today we discuss about the torque, work done by torque. Okay, then we derive the relation torque is equal to I alpha. See, that is analogous to equation F is equal to ma. Now then we discuss the motion of a rigid body rolling without a sliding, and derive the equation of velocity of center of mass of a rigid body at the bottom of the slope, and we talked about law of conservation of angular momentum, and finally principle of levers. Thank you.